Hey guys, it's November 28th on Read Through the Word. I'm Wendy Pope, and it is a joy to be with you on Read Through the Word. We are rounding out, finishing up Romans. Today we're in chapter 15, verse 1, which I'll tell you, I really didn't want to teach this. I didn't want to go into this verse, and this is why. We who are strong. I just stopped right there. And I thought, well, that's not me. Did y'all start reading in the reading and go, we who are strong must be considerate? Well, that counts me out. I don't have to be considerate about anybody because I'm not strong. Yeah. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Please tell me I'm not the only one, because I really feel like that. I confessed that the other day, one of my other lessons. I said, I just have felt like I'm just wobbling along. And then the Lord gave me that verse, and it was in Romans, but ignited that verse, I should say, because of our faith, we stand. That verse, I think it was the 24th or 25th, I can't remember. But anyways, I was like, and now strong. But one of translations that I looked at defines that, or kind of wraps up that statement of we are strong as being strong in our convictions and robust in our faith. It doesn't mean we're perfect in our faith. It means that even if we're wobbly, even if we're like this, we're moving in the right direction. We're committed to being in the Word. We're committed to being in worship with other believers. We're committed to praying. But we might not be perfect at it, but it's part of the conviction. It's the conviction that we live. So I was like, okay. I'm buying into it now. But then we go on, it said, must be considerate of those who are sensitive about things like this. And you need to go back and read about this, things like this, what he's talking about. And that's in the previous day, about the whole idea of the food sensitivities to people, the law, what you should obey, what you shouldn't, that kind of thing. Going back to the whole idea of it's permissible, but it might not be beneficial to you or to others. It means he's referring to things that could possibly cause people to stumble. In our modern terms, it could be drinking a beer with your Mexican food. Is one beer wrong? No, there's not anything wrong with one beer. Is there anything wrong with drinking a beer out when you enjoy your Mexican food? Nope, there's not. As long as you're not drunk with it and it inhibits your thinking, don't be drunk with wine, then there's nothing wrong with it. But just because it's permissive doesn't mean it's beneficial to you or to someone else, because someone else doesn't know how many beers you had, how much beer you have been drinking. And so I just have a general rule. I'm just not going to, because I don't want to cause anybody to stumble. Somebody might see me on Read Through the Word and then see me out and going, oh, I don't want to cause anybody to stumble. So that's what he's referring to. And that's just kind of a quick explanation of that. But I also want us not to trip up on the idea about sensitive about things like this. We must not live just to please ourselves. Shoot, right? Because you can trip yourself up over in verse 5 when it says, may God who gives this patience and encouragement help you live in complete harmony with each other as fitting to the followers of Christ. live in complete harmony with each other is often misinterpreted as tolerance and acceptance of things that are completely against Scripture. Not whether you're eating fish on this day, or you ate pork, or you cooked in this pot, not that pot. It's not. He is talking to people who are followers of Christ. And followers of Christ are not going to live in complete harmony with those who don't follow Christ. There, I said it. They're not. That's a whole lesson for another day. I'm picking that up. I'm putting that on the shelf, and I'm going to move on. But that's the truth. What Paul is encouraging us to do is to be considerate of those who are not as voracious in their convictions and robust in their faith. They're just learning their faith. They've just accepted Christ. They are a little on the fence about how does this apply to me? That's what he's talking about. Circumcision and not circumcision. That was a big deal then. So what we have to do is we have to, as one translation said, bear with the failings and frailties of others. And further defined, carrying the doubts and qualms of others. Don't just live to please ourselves, and even to be making a point with the Bible by bashing somebody over the head with it and saying that's not right. Been there, done that. Does not work at all in a family setting. So here are some things. Be considerate. Live to please others. This is what Jesus did. Just because he sat with sinners, Jesus sat with sinners but didn't come one. He didn't sin. He condemned sin, but he still loved. So that's what we mean, like Jesus did. Help others do what is right with love and kindness. And build each other up in the faith. Again, he's talking to those who believe, those who are spirit-led and word-fed. Those who are not spirit-led and word-fed, those who are not of the Spirit, are not going to get this, and you are not going to live in harmony with them. On biblical matters, and very likely on social matters. But you can still be kind and loving to them and still be considerate of them, but not accepting of their behaviors and their beliefs. Don't be influenced by them is the whole idea of this. It's not easy. And, here's something that I'm thinking of. I'm weak in my faith. Wait a minute. We'll always find somebody stronger in their faith than us, more robust. So we're going to be considered strong in our faith to someone, but we're also going to be considered weak in our faith to someone else. So let's just live in a mind of being considerate and building each other up in the faith and affirming each other up in the faith and talking about things. One of my favorite things to do is, I did this recently. I'm speaking at an event soon, and I met with the two ladies who are coordinating that and putting that together. And there's nothing better than just sitting with two people and talking about Jesus. fantastic day. Fantastic way to spend your day. Building each other up in the faith. That's being considerate of one another, listening and exchanging the ideas of Scripture. This is what I learned. This is what I remember. This is how I think about that. Considerate of each other. Sit down and have a good Jesus talk with somebody. It'll build you up. And it'll make you strong. Take care. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.